Bob.
What's going on, man?
Oh, another wonderful day.
All right.
Florida ended on a
So
good note.
it did end on a good note.
They played very well for their last game. I was happy about that.
Yep.
I was happy.
Kind of went the way I thought it would go. FSU, even though they had more wins coming into the game, had a lot on the line for FSU. They're playing for
A bowl
um,
berth.
bowl berth, which now they won't get. And
Yeah.
so that was their last game of the season was to lose to Florida. And don't worry, FSU fans. Mike Norvell will be back next season, so you can continue this run of mediocrity.
Mediocrity.
And
Mediocrity.
so big news coming out of Gainesville. New coach, Summerall from Tulane has been signed as
Yep.
the head coach.
Yep.
Um, I can't even
Well, that's a
pronounce the
jump
name.
up.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
Um,
mean,
the
maybe not necessarily record wise this year, but well, what was Tulane? They were six
Tulane's
and
poised to go to,
six.
if they win their conference championship, they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah, because they'll be the highest.
Them or James
Uh,
Madison.
yeah, James Madison. Well, you think James Madison will drop below them from losing the conference championship?
If James Madison, neither Tulane nor James Madison can afford to lose.
Yeah.
They have to win their conference championship because that's the only way they qualify to get into it. Now, um, what would be great for a couple of teams that are on the bubble, like Miami, Texas, maybe even Vanderbilt, is that Tulane, Kennesaw State, I'm sorry, Tulane and James Madison both need to lose. If they would both lose, then neither one of those conferences is going to high. They're going to be too low ranked, and the ACC champion could get in, which could be now. Get this: Duke or
Duke.
Virginia.
But
Duke or
I dove into the
Virginia.
rules, and if Virginia loses to Duke, they would still be ranked higher because they're not going to
Duke's
drop.
not ranked. Duke's
I
not
know.
ranked.
Virginia will
Right.
still be ranked. So the highest ranked conference team at the end of the year goes,
Conference
or is it
champion.
the highest?
Conference champion.
The what?
Conference champion. Virginia loses. If Virginia loses, this is the worst case scenario for the ACC. If Virginia loses, they don't go. No, ACC will not have a representative most likely outside of possibly Miami. Miami's sitting in that 12th spot, but Miami's going to need some help. One of the things that has to happen for Miami is Alabama needs to lose badly to Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no one else who could lose above them is going to fall out of the top. If Georgia loses, they're not going to fall any further than ninth or 10th.
Yeah, and that's it.
If Indiana loses, they're not going to fall out of maybe five or six. Same thing for Ohio
Yeah.
State. The only way Indiana would fall, Indiana will not fall. Indiana's going to the playoffs. Ohio State's going to the playoffs. Georgia's going to the playoffs. Um, Ole Miss is going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, you know who screwed the pooch for a couple of teams was
SMU.
Texas A&M. Because
Oh,
here's the thing: Texas A&M wins, then they play. No, that it wouldn't have mattered. If Alabama doesn't beat Auburn, they don't go. And Alabama has no other path but through the conference championship. So if Alabama would have lost and Texas A&M loses, it would have been Georgia and Ole Miss. Now
yeah.
here's the thing: this is the big conversation going on right now, and we talked about this last week. Was do you really want to go to your conference championship? You think Georgia wants to play for the SEC championship right now?
Nope.
Bama didn't need it. They beat Auburn. They were already ranked 10th. They're in. They're
Yeah.
in. If you're 11 and up, you're in. This that 12th spot bubble you don't want to be on. That's what bumped Bama last year. And so that's why Miami sitting at 12 is probably not going to make it in.
Listen,
If we're Go ahead.
I think you definitely hit on a note there with the like we talked last week. No point in going to some of these conference championship games. There's no
No.
East West. There's no South. No whatever. But if all this lemony snickets, unfortunate crap happens, and Miami gets in, I think Miami could be a very big disruptor in the playoffs.
No, definitely.
Will they
They're
win?
without a doubt. To me, they're without a doubt. They're the best team in the ACC.
Yeah,
I know they have
and
two losses, but
I think they could go deep into the playoffs. I mean, could they beat an Ohio State or something? I don't know where it's all going to land, but they could be a disruptor and mess somebody's season up
yeah,
that played in a conference championship that didn't need to play in a conference championship and lost and dropped and XYZ. And it's going to be a Miami could do to some team what Florida did to Florida State in the playoffs.
what's weird is we really run the chance in our lifetime to see something that no one ever thought would happen, and that is an absolute doing away with the conference championships. So, now here's the thing: if you do away with the conference championships, why have conferences?
Money, sponsorship, money, boosters. I
You
mean,
know,
those are that. I agree with you, but you said why would we have conferences? That's only. I mean that the SEC symbol is like the Nike symbol.
I
It's
know,
it's a money. It'll be a money bag at that point because at
right?
that point you'll have what Lane Kiffin's going to do at LSU, which is dumping NIL money. Listen, if there's no conferences, then there's no money holding anybody back. And these big time conferences, SEC, the Big Ten, ACC, with all this private money coming in, will then start. I was thinking about this. This is going to be crazy. These companies are these boosters and stuff from these ACCs that fund this stuff. We'll just start head trust funds and LLCs and employ these players to go play at SEC, and we'll give you $10 million a year. If they put a cap on it, like they're with the way they're getting paid now, I'm just going to be an employee. I'm going to be contracted to Alabama for X number of years, so I can draw more money into Alabama and not. But then they won't be able to leave. They'll have to stay at Alabama. I think that's what's going to snowball when we have no conferences. It doesn't make sense to me right now, but I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, there's ways to get around no conference.
Hold on one second.
Okay. Nice Lasco in the background, bro.
Anyway, sorry, I heard something. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting thing. Unless there's regulations on the NIL that would, I would think they would put regulations in that would prevent that from happening. Um,
Well, you know, Lane Kiffin going to LSU, he
yeah,
got a $25 million a year NIL budget. First thing he's going to do on January 2nd, when that portal opens, poach all the Ole Miss best players at Ole Miss. Here's
the
three
rumor is
million.
that's what
Here's
he
four
told them.
million. Here's 4 million. Here's 5 million. Here's 2 million. Here's this. Here's that. Then he's going to start poaching people from Georgia, or he's going to start poaching people because Georgia, Alabama, hell, even Vanderbilt doesn't have that big of an NIL per year budget.
Mm-mm.
And these kids today are going to go where their money is. And I would
Texas,
too.
yeah, Texas and Texas A&M can compete with that, but a lot of your other schools, even Alabama, would have a hard time hanging with that. Um,
And that could bring the East West back.
I think they should bring it back. If we're going to keep the conference champion, then we need to bring the East and West back. And I personally
Yeah.
think that might help us get more teams in the playoffs anyway,
Are you
because
recording?
yeah, because
Okay.
you'll have a runner up for each side. So that's four teams right off the bat.
Yeah.
Um, if you think about it, because Vanderbilt, yeah, Vanderbilt is the runner, would have been the runner up of the East this year.
Yeah.
I like them apples. And then you got Ole Miss as the runner up of the West
Yeah.
this year. But here's the thing: you got teams that have to go back and rearrange the schedules again because you got teams that's in the West and the East that didn't play each other. Um, and one of the things, okay, what do you think about the change subjects a little bit? Let's talk about the rivalry games that went on this weekend. Of course, Florida basically dominated that game on every level,
That
defensively,
running back,
offensively. Yep.
that running back Ball had an outgiving of hate towards
Yeah.
him. Like he set himself up well for an NIL deal next year.
Yeah.
And talk about momentum going into the next season on what he's now confident he can do as a true freshman to reach that. Hasn't happened since Emmitt Smith, and before that, it was 20 years.
What about that? I think it's a defensive end for Florida. He's a freshman. He was lighting it up too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I don't know the name. I know who you're talking about.
I mean, if they
He was
keep some of
good.
these guys, they keep these if they keep these freshmen
Yeah,
that look really good, Florida's got a good chance of competing next year. I haven't seen their schedule for next year, but yeah, I was really impressed with what I saw with Florida. Lagway had a really good game. It was a well called game, but you saw there where the talent level and the physicality of Florida really just crushed FSU.
yeah,
Um, and they keep saying how FSU had this really outstanding offense. The problem is they can march up and down the field, they can't score.
yeah.
But that's sort of a trademark Gus Malzahn thing. If he's going to score, he needs to be about 25, 30 yards
I was
out
going to
to
say he
do it.
needs to. He scores mostly outside the red zone.
I remember one year when he was coaching at Auburn and came to Alabama, the 2015 game, and it was the crazy. I mean, 100 points. It was the most points ever scored in an Iron Bowl. Um, and we were just trading haymakers. I think they went up by like 17, 20 points at one time. And we were on track to play for the national championship. We lost to Ohio State in the playoffs. It was the first year of the playoff
Yeah,
and 2014. And so, but he would get in. What happened was he would get inside the five and had to kick. We couldn't stop them until they got inside the five. And
yeah,
then they could not. He would run these gimmick plays and pass plays, and he
yeah,
wouldn't just line up in front of you and just run at you, which Auburn used to be really good at. And he's had to trade field goals, and so he's doing the same thing again. He's
yeah,
got a decent quarterback. I don't know if that guy's a senior or not, but FSU is not really going to out physical you, at least not down the stretch. It seemed like I don't know if they got plagued with injuries. I don't know what happened to that team that came out of the gate and beat Alabama the way they did.
yeah,
Um, but it's like both teams flipped a switch after that, and Florida State just turned into garbage, and Alabama turned into a little bit better than garbage. Um, in my opinion, I'll get into that in a minute. So anyway, it was a great game. I enjoyed watching it, like watching Florida win. So it was a rarity this season that both Alabama and Florida won on the same day because my wife's a Florida fan, of course, and that's how I pull for them when they're not playing us. Okay, so who else we got? Who else? Texas A&M, of course, and if you go back and you look at Texas A&M's record, I wish I would have looked at it before I made my pick because I picked Texas A&M and I forgot that they were going into Texas, which was another reason I should have picked Texas.
yeah.
Was the fact that Texas A&M did not play Alabama, did not play Ole Miss, did not
No,
play Tennessee, did not play Georgia,
or
didn't
Vanderbilt.
even play Vanderbilt. So they
Yep.
didn't play the top five teams in the conference,
Yeah.
and they have played all mid to bottom tier teams, and hence the reason that I think if they'd have played Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, they probably would have had at least two losses
Yeah.
in that, and I think that we greatly overvalued Texas A&M. I think they're going to go out in the first round unless they play a James Madison. If they play an Oregon,
Done.
who's definitely going to be in, I think they'll lose that game. Um, I think I think if they play in Indiana, I think they'll lose that game. So anyway, that was interesting to see. Now, of course, now you got the talking heads. Man, Manning's finally come on. He just got his butt handed to him a couple of weeks ago by Georgia,
Yeah.
and now he's playing. He's hot or cold. I don't. I wish they quit detach their lips from the Manning family butt and be honest that this kid is mid at best.
Mid.
Um, and then you get the LSU Oklahoma game.
Oh yeah. I didn't even
What
watch
what a
that one.
3-3 at halftime.
Ooh.
Um, one big play, 160 something yard pass from Mateer was the only bright spot in the whole game. And I thought if LSU had the smidge of offense, I guess Nussmeier, they already put him. I guess he's already left the campus. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really watch a whole lot of the game,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think he would have done better um, than his replacement. Then of course you come to what's the other good game that was this weekend?
SMU game.
SMU getting embarrassed. Now they didn't get
Holy
embarrassed. They made a
cow!
huge comeback, but all they had to do was go in and beat a mediocre Cal team, and they were in.
They was looking past it. That's the problem. You
And
cannot look
so
past a team in football
not nowadays.
if they're on the same level. Now you can play like the Northern Illinois State Commonwealth University and look past that, but you can't look. I mean, as bad as Cal is, they're still Cal, and they're still in a top 5 conference, and they're still
They still
an
on
upsetter.
scholarship. They got
Yeah,
scholarship players too.
yeah,
Um, and so yeah, I don't understand why people can't win out in California. It's got great weather. Maybe is it a high academic school?
yeah.
Okay,
Cal,
I don't know. I don't know
heck
much about
yeah,
it.
heck yeah,
I mean, uh, every now and then they come in and beat an SEC team like Tennessee or an Auburn.
yeah,
Um, but then you realize, well, it's just Auburn. Speaking of Auburn, um, enjoyed some of that game, but the same Alabama that has been Alabama for the last 5 SEC games
yeah,
showed up for this game. It
yeah,
is like you could just call it like it's. I tell you one thing, I've never seen so many drop passes, so many unrecovered fumbles in a single game. Auburn could, they were trying to catch a greased pig.
yeah.
I mean, I think they had three drops on their first possession. Um, they were
And
dropping
wasn't
all
it?
night long.
Was it Auburn that I can't remember now? Were they the ones that had like so many penalties? Like it was like first and goal on the 10. They'd get to the one, then back up. They'd get to the one, back up, and then get to the
Mm-mm,
one,
that
back
wasn't
up,
them.
and then some holding or they had like they spent 15 minutes on the 10-yard line. Who was that?
I'm not sure. I do
Gosh,
know
it
that
was
Auburn had 14 points taken off the board because of penalties, and it
yeah,
was almost the same broken play. The guy got loose. The quarterback scrambled. The guy got loose. They lost track of him, threw it, and he runs down the field for a call back. I mean, I think in another quarter down the road, I think it might have been in the third quarter. Boom, did the same thing. Got a call back. Um, there was two or three targeting. There was two targeting calls. Should have been a third one on Ty Simpson's run that he had, where he got down to the one. It got called back because of holding, but he ran down to the 1 yard line, and that guy's crown of his helmet hit him square in the face mask. I said, "How are you not calling that um, targeting?" And I mean, and that one time he got flipped over in a chokehold. They got to stop that grabbing him by the neck stuff too. Somebody's going to get
yeah.
hurt bad.
So I'm gonna get
Um,
paralyzed.
but he got mouthy after on that one. He was talking to the guy about that, and
Yeah,
but a lot of missed opportunities by Auburn. If their receivers could have caught a handful of those passes, it could have been a different outcome.
yeah.
Auburn had people open all day in short passes. They had a hard time throwing it. I tell you what, that Cole, I think his name is Coleman, that
Uh-huh.
tall, lanky receiver they've got. It's got great hands. Man, our guy was in his back pocket, his front pocket, was in his belt loops. He had him covered like a blanket all night long.
Hmm.
Um, Bama missed two opportunities. I think we recovered one fumble, one interception, had a chance for two other interceptions, and how 8 people around a muff punt couldn't get it. I don't understand that. Hits him square. And I was telling somebody watching the game, I said, Auburn's going to muff one of these punts. It's a
Yeah,
tradition now. They do it
yeah,
every year we play there. And
yeah.
it cost them the game back in like year four last. It cost him the game. And sure enough, hits him square in the chest. He has no idea where it is. Our guy's looking right at it. Instead of grabbing and falling on it, he tries to scoop it up and tries to score and end up flipping it out of bounds.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know if our player thought, and he looked like he did deliver it. I don't know if he thought, well, if I flip it out of bounds, it's our ball. No, dummy, it's not your ball. It's their ball. Um, so anyway, Ty Simpson had 122 yards, but had 3 touchdown passes,
Yeah.
and all three to Horton. Ryan Williams was not even targeted
Yeah,
during the
that could be
game.
a new matchup for next season if they
So
show up
Horton,
next
yeah, it's
season.
going to have to be Horton, and I don't know if Williams is going to go in the portal. I don't know if there's some kind of problem off the field. There's been no report of him being injured. You know what I think it is? I think because he can't catch the ball. Uh, they didn't want to rely on him in the end zone, and Horton 3 for 3
Yeah.
could have
Do
had a
you have
fourth
a
one, but the guy tipped it.
do you have like an
So
automatic zoom camera or something?
I've never noticed it doing that. Watch, hold
It's
on, let's
like
see if it does it again. I drop back. Let's see if it zooms.
yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It
That's a
keeps
high
your head
grade
in the same
professional.
frame. Back up, back up. It's doing it. Give it 2 seconds.
It went ah. Um. So yeah, but now Alabama's got to go play the SEC championship. Got to play Georgia again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can beat them twice in a year. Georgia
So that means
seems to
there
have
could be
gotten
a
better.
four-loss team in the playoffs.
Who would be 4 losses?
The ACC champion or ACC team.
If Duke wins, which has 5 losses, by the way, um, if Duke wins, I don't think I was watching ESPN and they were saying that they probably wouldn't get in. If Tulane wins, it's going to be them. If James Madison Tulane wins, it's probably going to be one of them.
Yeah.
And the ACC would be completely left out of the playoffs
First time in a while.
ever. Well, in the 12-team playoff, we won't have it for 2 years. But
Yeah.
if you would have bet me, I would have bet my mortgage that wouldn't have happened. I said not with Clemson, not with FSU. This is preseason, by the way.
Yeah.
FSU,
Miami,
Miami. Who would have been the other possibility?
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville probably. I thought there was one more team in that conference that possibly. I wouldn't have figured SMU. I figured last year was a fluke. They were halfway decent this year, but he
Or
still
NC
does.
State.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know why NC State can't put it together. I don't get it. Maybe they
They
have a
smoked
maybe it's
Carolina this last game.
boy who didn't, but yeah, that was a trouncing. So yeah, so what do you think about old Lane Kiffin going to LSU? Think he's going to be successful there?
I think he's going to be the same Lane Kiffin he's always been.
Oh yeah, he ain't changing.
I think. Well, I don't know. He has tools that he's never had before.
Well, that's
He's going to
true.
have an amazing facility. LSU's no slouch in facility. They're up there, top. I
Yep.
would say top five facilities in the country. Um, Tons of money to throw around. He's never had a
Yep.
25, $30 million budget just to throw at people, you
Hmm.
know? Um, he's got a pool of players at Ole Miss he can pull from, like we were talking about
Hmm.
earlier. They like him, they want him. They're going to shift allegiances. It's where the money is. So I think those three things could set him up to have a solid run his first year at LSU.
Uh,
Get five or
yeah.
six players, offense and defense. Three offense, two defense, some anchors, and he could that could be his seed. That could be a seed to really build something. I don't think he's going to go deep next year, but he's going
Hmm.
to be a force on people's radars. I mean, it's
Maybe he
LSU.
can. Maybe he can finally beat Alabama. He never
Yeah,
could do it at Ole Miss.
never.
Um,
So,
and the
what do
thing
you
about
think
it
about it?
is, I don't know. I don't know. I personally think Lane would have fit in better at Florida. I think his personality would have been better at Florida than at LSU. And now here's the thing that Lane's going to have at LSU that he would have had either at Florida or LSU that he didn't have at Ole Miss is an expectation of winning.
Yeah,
Ole Miss has never had anything, not since we've been born. All right,
right.
and there was no pressure to win a championship. It was, hey, just go 8-4, get us to a good bowl game, maybe beat Alabama every now and then, definitely beat Mississippi State every year, and we'll love you to the end of time. And he because they're paying this guy a lot of money who's never won a conference.
Yeah.
If Ole Miss would have went to the SEC, some say that's why he was waiting. He was seeing if Auburn was going to beat Alabama, which would have given him a path to the conference championship, and that's the reason he was delaying. He said, "I'm not going to take, not going to take that deal if I could have a chance to coach in the SEC championship and bring the first time Ole Miss has been to that championship game." Um, but that didn't work out. So what's the point of waiting anymore?
Yeah.
Um, I just really, honestly, I was leaning toward him staying at Ole Miss. But he wants to win a championship. He's got a better chance at doing it at LSU than he does at Ole Miss. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see how it goes. The Ole Miss has already hired Pete Golding to be their head coach, who was their defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator under Nick Saban. We were glad to see him go. Um, but he's definitely, you have to admit, he's made Ole Miss's defense better than it's been in the past. The thing that they've lacked and that's going to catch them in the playoffs is a lack of depth. And not to mention now they've got to go into the playoffs without the guy who engineered their season and called all the plays is gone. So it depends on who they draw. If Ole Miss get now, here's the thing: if Alabama goes, because if Alabama beats Georgia, they're in. There's no doubt about that. And we'll actually get a whoa. We will not get a bye because you have to be in the top four to get a bye. Conference champion used to get the bye, but now it's top four.
Yeah.
And I doubt very seriously they're going to jump us from 10-4. They're not going to jump us over Oklahoma. They should. They won't. Um, so anyway, but if we lose to Georgia and it's a close game, does Bama get in with 3 losses? I do think that's a possibility. But we have to keep the game close. We get beat 35-3. We're going to the
No, you
Weed Eater
don't.
Bowl. But here's the thing: guess who Ole Miss right now? Who Ole Miss would play in the in the playoffs in the first round?
Alabama.
Alabama. Yep. And
Yeah.
I personally, with Lane Kiffin, I think it would have been the best opportunity for him to beat us. Um, I think they could have beat us. Our offense has not got any better. Ty Simpson has not got any better. He had a decent game, but he did not have a high um, completion percentage. Auburn had locked down the pass, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden the running game decided to show up. Auburn has averaged less than was it 94 yards a game. We had
Mm.
100, almost 150 yards rushing.
No, I think it was
Um,
less than that.
Maybe it
I
was
thought it was in the
74
80s.
yards.
I thought it was in the 80s.
Maybe okay.
I
I
don't
can't
know. I
remember.
didn't think about. I haven't thought about that stat, but I thought I read somewhere where it was like less than 90 something. Let me look it up.
Personally, I think Hill is going to be the guy. I think he's the guy. 245 pounds, 6'1". He's big.
You and can
Um,
move pretty good.
Not bad. I don't think he's gonna. He's not. He doesn't have breakaway speed, for sure. But you ain't. It's gonna be hard for one person to tackle him. He needs to work on his stiff arm a little bit. But when you're running through 15 people, you usually have to keep that ball covered up. And again, we only run between the tackles. Jan
Yeah.
Miller is probably done. Man, I didn't realize that they talked about how he's got some kind of carbon fiber thing across his. Apparently, he's taped and glued together. Um,
Really?
but yeah, and
Know
he
that.
got hurt during the game, so I don't know if he's going to be back for the Georgia game. Personally, he hadn't been really effective most of the year, and so I say put Hill in there, and I can't remember that other guy's name, and CFO Ridley can do some damage too. Um, I don't know what's going to happen with that Williams kid. Um, we'll have to see. But with Hardy and Horton now being a pretty good duo, they um, well, I just blanked on that guy's name.
I don't know.
The receiver for Alabama that's really good.
I don't follow them
Um,
that much. Don't care about Alabama. Screw Alabama.
but so it's going to be interesting. I mean, you could have Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Those 4 teams are in the playoffs. Oklahoma's in. They don't have anybody left to play.
Yeah.
Um, and Ole Miss is in. And this is a situation where you really, like I said, you don't really want to go to the conference championship. So, and we'll of course we'll make our picks on Wednesday as far as who we um championship week. I think I've already got it already outlined out. Um, I haven't calculated Michael's score yet on the picks because I don't know who all was favored, but you had 21 correct. I had 20. So you are leading at 159 and I am at 153. So I have to get every single pick for the championship weekend right.
Well then,
And you have
well
to
then
pick the underdog.
that's what Michael got.
Did I pick the favorites? I didn't pick the favorites, did I?
I picked all the because
Oh, you
Michael
just
didn't
went with
show
all
up,
the favorites?
so he went with all the favorites,
Is that what you picked?
and that's what I picked. Yeah,
Okay, so he got 21. All
yeah.
right. So he didn't. So I think he's still what, two behind you
No, he tied
or
me last
one?
week, so we're even still.
Okay, so let's see. He had one. Oh yeah, y'all are still tied. I'm the biggest loser.
Yeah, that's why I did it. Now we're going into the playoffs.
Now we got to go to the playoffs or I
Are
lose.
we going to the playoffs, or are we just stopping it at the championships?
I'd like to go to the playoffs. You know, why not? We didn't do that last year. Um,
That's fine.
you know, but the matchups for the playoffs are, I mean, sorry, the championships are Kennesaw State versus Jacksonville State. Here's a good one: Troy versus James Madison. Uh, and North Texas versus Tulane. That's your
Hang on.
um,
That makes
lesser
it interesting.
conference.
That's the first time you said the word Troy all season.
Yep,
So how is
yep.
that an interesting game?
Because that's part of the reason. Troy come out of nowhere. I haven't even been paying attention. I have no idea what their record is. I don't know if
I
they got.
don't either.
They
Let me
could
look it
be
up real fast.
look. They
Let me
could be
look it up.
6-5, but they're just the best of the sucky teams. I'm not even sure what conference that is. American Conference, or is that? I think that's Tulane's is American Conference because you got the American, you got the Sun Belt, you got the MAC, you got the WAC. I
And
don't
who
know
is it?
those. Troy, and there was no line on it when I looked at it yesterday.
Where is Troy?
It's in Alabama.
I know where it is. I'm on the
Oh,
page I'm looking at. That's where Coach Randy went.
yep. Shout out to Coach Randy.
Hey man, Coach Randy, good to see you, man. Where can I go look at just the
Oh man, I just go to
playoffs?
ESPN. And if you go to ESPN and you
Oh,
just
there it is.
click
There it is.
schedule, yeah.
I found him. Okay, 8-4.
What's James Madison? 9-1,
Yeah.
9-2. And then Kennesaw
Oh,
State.
Jimmy Maddie.
Been rooting for Kennesaw State all year. And
James
James
Madison's
Madison
11-1.
11-1. Yeah. What's North Texas?
Hang on.
I think Tulane may be undefeated.
Oh, I'm over here. Hang on. Let's see. Troy,
You know what
Southern
James?
Miss.
You know what James Madison's strength of schedule is?
What?
Like 124th.
God.
I think there's only 127 teams.
And they're in the Sun Belt, but they have an East and West.
Well, make that make sense.
The Sun Belt West, which is Troy, Southern Miss, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas State. There's no Northern Texas.
No, not no, but North Texas is a different. That's a different conference.
Oh, okay.
That's who Tulane is playing for their champion. When Tulane
Oh,
wins, I'm telling you, they're going to the playoffs. I said this last time. It's going to be
over
James
over
Madison
Jimmy
or it's going to be
Maddie.
Tulane. Yeah.
Let me
Oh, I
find
don't
Troy.
know. They may both get in.
Yeah.
Nah, they won't both get in. They can't both get in. James Madison's not even ranked. Not in the CFP. Tulane is, but not CFP.
Let's see. What conference is North Texas in?
I have no or same conference Tulane. I think it's like the American Conference or something like that. American
Pac-12,
Athletic
Big
Conference.
12, Sun Belt, Big 10, Troy. Oh, we're looking for Tulane. Conference USA. There's no what? Michigan. All right, Big Ten, Sun Belt.
Why don't you just type in Tulane or type in North Texas into Google and just see where they're at?
Because I'm already on damn ESPN, man. Hey Siri, what conference is Tulane in?
Tulane University plays in the American Athletic Conference.
American.
Which is
This
what I
answer is
said.
from Wikipedia.
I'm looking at it. Oh, there it is. Green wave. I didn't see it. They're 10-2.
Yeah. What is now they're gonna play in North Texas. What's North Texas rank? I mean, what's their record?
North Texas is 11-1.
That could be a good game.
Yeah.
I may actually watch that game. I like to watch
Navy,
James Madison.
Army, all the military schools are in it.
Oh, is that right?
Navy,
Did
Army,
you see where
UT.
Navy beat Memphis?
Uh-uh.
Ugh.
Bad beat.
It don't matter. Memphis at one time was, they were ranked and they were thought of they're gonna make the playoffs for one of the lesser conferences. But man, I mean, they're the team that beat Arkansas. Of course,
Yeah.
just about everybody's beating Arkansas.
Navy's full team. Navy's true name is the Navy Midshipmen.
Midshipmen. Yep.
I never knew that.
Yep. I think what's the Army? Black Knights?
Yeah.
What's Air Force? Drone Rangers?
Air Force Lady Blaze. They're
I
not
like
in
the
this
Drone
conference.
Rangers. What?
They're not in this conference.
Oh, I thought you saw the military was in there.
I saw the first two or three and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
Air Force Falcons.
Falcons. That's right.
That's
That's
pretty
right.
good.
Not bad. So I remember I'll tell you what a funny scene was when our guy was going to kick a field goal, and on the big screen behind it was just an eagle looking at him like
Really?
that. Yep. And I just couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, why don't you put a tiger up there? Not a bird. That's not very a tiger looking at you like that would be like, oh, but a bird's like, I'll try to have a pic. I'm gonna try to have a picture of it for Wednesday's show. I can show
Yeah.
it to you. It was ridiculous. But you know, that was a weird game. That was one of the sloppiest games I've seen, sloppiest Iron Bowls I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of, and I don't know how many times Auburn had fumbled the ball and not lost it. So yeah. No, it was an interesting weekend. I give it that. Um, I think I got off the thing about Lane Kiffin a little bit, and we're coming close on time. I give him a couple of years. I think he can be competitive if he uses the transfer portal well. I think he could be
Yeah.
competitive in his second year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
not sure how
saying.
many. Go ahead.
That's what to reiterate what I said earlier. Like he's going to pluck people with that money and build a seed, and then try to insert, his style obviously in different
Hmm.
offenses based on those seed players, and that could be a good kickoff for him. I mean, this might be his swan song. He might do so
Well,
well at LSU that he's there for the next 15 years.
well, it makes you wonder too. Is he? Everybody always said he was kind of holding out for the Alabama job, kind of hoping that DeVore would have just gone on to Penn State and went up there. But that does not look like that's that. I don't even know who started that rumor. Heck, he probably started that rumor. Um, because DeBoer in his second year is starting to look a little bit like Saban's run. He had a better year. Of course, now Saban didn't have the talent he started with either, but in Saban's second year, took us to the conference championship, lost to Tim Tebow, but took us there. And then the third year is when the real winning started.
Yeah,
So, all right, man, that's all the time we got.
it's a good one.